Emphasis on looks like, because no, he didn't get him, not even close. The guy's fake face starts peeling off, and we get a glimpse of his ghost pale skin before he reveals his real name, Orochimaru. He compliments Sasuke's power, saying that he's just like his brother Itachi. We will be meeting him in the future. He burns the scroll they had, and then tells Sasuke to beat the Sound Village shinobi who are working for him, if he wants true power. He also gives Sasuke a vampire bite on his neck, which leaves a strange mark on him, before disappearing into a tree. Don't worry, I'm sure that's never gonna come up again in the future, come on! This weird mark makes Sasuke scream in pain, and he passes out, leaving Sakura to care for her two teammates alone. Meanwhile, Anko finds Orochimaru, who calls her by name. Not only do they know each other, she used to be his student. As they fight, Anko thinks she's cornered him, and plans to take both herself and him out in one fell swoop. This, of course, doesn't work. Orochimaru incapacitates her, mentions he has some evil plans for Sasuke, and then he leaves.
A righteous warrior. How naughty of you to be using the forbidden jutsu I taught you.
We also see that Anko is the same mark Orochimaru just gave Sasuke. This guy has been doing evil stuff for a very long time. As Anko is recovering from her injuries, she gets ambushed by 3 tigers, and her curse mark stops her from fighting back. She's about to be cat food, but gets saved by the Anbu Black Ops. She tells them what's going on, and instructs them to call for the Hokage. Back with Team 7, the Sound Village shinobi spy on them from a distance, waiting for daybreak to spring their attack. This looks bad. Episode 31 opens with Lee and his team spreading out to scout for potential opponents. While they do that, Sakura is doing her best to stay up and tend to Naruto and Sasuke, but she ends up falling asleep. She has a nightmare about Orochimaru coming after them, and wakes to see Naruto and Sasuke still out cold. While Lee saves a squirrel from burning to death, Neji finds Shikamaru and his team, but he doesn't care about them. He wouldn't take a scroll from losers like them. As a ninja, I personally wouldn't take that kind of disrespect, but I also wouldn't try Neji in a fight. You'll see why soon.
I've been wanting to meet you for a really long time, Neji, so hi.
Get lost.
What?
Back with Sakura, the Sound Village shinobi, who show up looking for a fight, fall right into Sakura's pretending to sleep trap. But there's a small problem. The trap kinda sucked and had no effect on them at all, just as it looks like Sakura is minced meat. Not to worry, because Lee shows up to save the day. A Sound shinobi attacks, but Lee unleashes his special move on him. Unfortunately, it's 3v1, as the other Sound shinobi saves his teammate. The episode then ends with Lee getting pelted with the same jutsu the guy used on Kabuto. He can't see straight anymore. Boy, things sure are looking rough for the Leaf Genin. The next episode opens with Lee puking and bleeding out of his ear. Turns out the secret behind the Sound Village guy's jutsu is sound. What a shocker. Obvious stuff aside, Lee has no answer for it. When the shinobi attacks Sakura, Lee jumps in to save her, but gets taken out. Shikamaru, Ino, and Choji look on from the bushes as Sakura gets overpowered. The girl from the Sound Village grabs Sakura's long, pretty hair and mocks her for it, as her teammate makes his way towards Sasuke. So Sakura cuts off her own hair to get loose, symbolizing her cutting off her restraints and fully embracing becoming a ninja. She uses successive substitution jutsus to trick one of the shinobi and attack him. Biting down on his arm, as he punches her over and over again. It is at that time that Ino remembers the friendship that she had with Sakura in her childhood, as well as their rivalry, and decides she can't keep watching this happen. So she and her team decide to step in to save Team 7. You don't know it yet, but trust me, this is the start of a bunch of beautiful friendships. The following episode starts with Sasuke having a vision of the night when his parents died. We then cut to Ino and her team, or Ino Shikacho, as they call themselves, defending Sakura. But while Shikamaru and Ino are ready for a fight, Choji wants absolutely nothing to do with it, until the Sound Village guy calls him fat. This is a sensitive spot for Choji, and he absolutely loses his mind.
I'm just a little chubby, okay?
The fight begins, with Choji turning into a human boulder. Shikamaru possesses the masked body with his shadow technique, and Ino using her mind transfer jutsu to take the girl hostage. Their plan works, until it doesn't. Turns out the guys don't care if the girl dies, and Shikamaru's chakra runs out. It looks like they're done for. But that's when help arrives in the form of a very arrogant but very powerful guy, Neji Hyuga. Tenten is with him too, but she's not super strong. Anyway, Neji is about to jump in, but then stops. Why, you ask? Because there's some devious chakra coming from Sasuke. And powered by Orochimaru's cursed mark, Sasuke wakes up. He asks Sakura who hurt her, before proceeding to put the smackdown on the guy who did it. But the curse mark is evil, and Sasuke is under its influence. He turns into a monster, breaking both of the guy's arms.
What do you know? Blew them all away!
Not quite.
He's about to end the other one too, but Sakura's cries convince him to calm down. With that, the Sound Village Genin surrender their scroll and retreat, with Sasuke left wondering what the hell just happened. Episode 34 opens with Naruto having a dream about Orochimaru showing a kunai in his face. If I had a nickel for every time a Naruto episode opened with a dream, I'd have two. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right? Naruto wakes up and has no idea about the whole battle that just happened. In the aftermath of the battle, Ino helps Sakura fix her hair. And the Genin of the Leaf all have a good bonding experience. Well, everybody except for Neji, who just stands there thinking about how Sasuke would make a good opponent. Meanwhile, we see Kiba consoling a terrified Akamaru. Why is he scared? Well, they were making their way through the forest when they saw a showdown between the Genin from the Sand Village and some older Genin. There, they saw Gaara. Found out that he's an extremely powerful bloodthirsty monster who can control sand. In front of their eyes, Gaara just popped a team of 3 experienced Genin like they were grapes. Hell, even his own teammates are absolutely terrified of him. And rightfully so. Bro just threatened to kill them when they didn't listen to him.
Sand burial!
Back in the present, Kiba, Shino, and Hinata have made it to the tower with both scrolls, and they just watch Gaara and his team walk by them, still absolutely petrified. And Gaara's exploits aren't going unnoticed. One of the supervising Chunin tells Anko that Gaara and his team finished the exam in just 97 minutes. This is 4 hours quicker than the all-time record. But that's not even the crazy part. The crazy part is he didn't even get a single scratch during the entire exam. Whoever this kid is, he means business. The next episode opens with Naruto and Sasuke fishing. They're all alone in the forest, so they gotta get their own food. Over lunch, they discuss their situation. They're 4 days into the exam, which means they don't have a great shot at clearing the exam. But Naruto has an idea. When Sasuke goes to get some water, Naruto tells Sakura that since they have one scroll, they should open it and see what's inside so they can just forge the other one. And it just so happens that at the exact same time, another team also has the same plan.
The next brilliant idea you get, how about keeping it to yourself? We got enough problems.
But when that team opens the scroll, they scream in horror, and their teammate finds them passed out. That's not reassuring at all. Meanwhile, Naruto and Sakura are about to open their scroll, but they're stopped by Kabuto. He shows up seemingly out of nowhere and tells them why they shouldn't open their scrolls. They have hypnosis jutsu on them in case anyone cheats and opens them before finishing the exam. Kabuto has 2 scrolls, and Sasuke challenges him to a fight for the second one. He doesn't care who he fights as long as they pass. But Kabuto has a better idea. They can work together. Kabuto has been separated from his teammates and needs backup. So they strike a deal. They can act as cover for Kabuto, and he'll help them get the second scroll. They stealthily make their way to the tower, but well, as you know, Naruto can be an absolute idiot. So unsurprisingly, he trips a wire and triggers a trap. Truly, if not for more experienced ninja, he'd be minced meat right now. Some time passes, and Sakura just drops from exhaustion, since they've been walking forever.
It would seem we've been spotted. Somebody is playing games with us.
However, they soon realize they're stuck in a genjutsu and have been walking in circles for hours. And that's when they get ambushed by about 100 people. Episode 36 opens with a recap on the show so far, before we get back to the ambush. Team 7 and Kabuto are cornered as there are literally guys spawning out of trees to ambush them. But it turns out these are all illusions. So Team 7 decides to fight them until the people controlling the illusions come out. Once the night is gone, the 3 genin behind the genjutsu show up, only to find out that the people they were fighting all night were Naruto shadow clones disguised as the team. But the enemies of our heroes aren't done yet. They launch another clone-based jutsu. Naruto rushes in like an idiot and almost gets killed, but Kabuto saves him again. That's when they find out they've been fighting clones. The guys making them were hiding underground the entire time. When they figured that out, it's an easy W for Team 7. But it's not all smiles. Sasuke has a bad feeling about Kabuto for some reason. As it turns out, that feeling is warranted, because he wasn't really helping them. He was gathering information on Sasuke. Why, you ask? Because Kabuto is working for Orochimaru. You really can't trust anybody in the shinobi world.
I learned a lot about him during the second exam, and I recorded all the data on this.
Back with Team 7, they finally make it to where they need to use the scrolls, and the episode ends with Sakura and Naruto opening them. In the next episode, we pick up with the opening of the scrolls, and it turns out they trigger a summoning jutsu. Who did they summon? None other than good old Iruka-sensei. He congratulates Team 7 on passing the second exam before explaining how the exam itself was testing all the skills that they'll be needing as Chunin. Mission execution, survival, using both brains and brawn to survive. Seeing them survive such a grueling exam, Iruka thinks back to his argument with Kakashi and realizes he might have been onto something with these kids. Meanwhile, Anko is finally able to tell the Hokage that Orochimaru is back and has some devious plans for Sasuke. We then cut to all the genin who made it past the second exam, which includes all 9 of the rookie leaf genin. The Hokage then explains why the Chunin exams really happen. Sure, they do it to see which shinobi are worthy of promotion, but really it's about showcasing the abilities of each shinobi village for all the feudal lords.
In order to avoid destroying each other's military strength meaninglessly, those nations pick champions.
AKA, people with money to see. Even Naruto isn't safe from the vile clutches of capitalism. After the Hokage is done speaking, the judge for the third exam, Hayate Gecko, shows up. Team 7 might have been through hell, but the Chunin exams aren't done yet. Episode 38 starts with Gecko saying he has a little preliminary test in mind for the kids. What's more, participation in the third stage of the exam is on the line. Turns out there are way too many people who passed the first 2 exams, so they need to cut down the batch for the third. Meanwhile, Sasuke's curse mark is really bothering him, and Sakura is insisting that he drop out of the exam altogether. Anko shares the same sentiment, but Kakashi tells her he's not going to listen to anybody. After all, he's an Uchiha. During their argument, Kabuto raises his hand and drops out of the exam. He says it's because he's physically exhausted, but Sasuke isn't buying his BS. He knows something is up. Oh, and fun fact, the Jonin representative from the Sound Village is actually Orochimaru. Jeez. Sakura begs Sasuke to quit, but he's not having it. He wants to fight the strongest people and be the strongest version of himself.
You're one of the ones I want to fight the most.
So with Kabuto dropping out, there are 20 contestants left. That means 10 1v1s, with the 10 winners advancing to the third exam. The electronic board picks the first matchup. Sasuke versus one of Orochimaru's Sound Village lackeys. Even though Sasuke is incredibly hurt by Orochimaru's curse mark, he's ready to fight. But before the match starts, Kakashi tells him to not use his Sharingan because it triggers the curse mark. The match starts, and it looks like Sasuke is really cooking, until we find out his opponent can steal chakra from his enemies, and right now he's sucking Sasuke dry. The next episode starts with everyone watching as Sasuke's opponent mercilessly is draining him of chakra. Sasuke manages to get him off of him, but he's in bad shape. Naruto tries to motivate Sasuke from the sidelines, but it's not much help. That's when Sasuke looks at Lee and gets an idea. What's that idea? Copying the move Lee almost used on him. He even wards off the curse mark during the attack, which is not an easy thing to do. And just like that, with a move he calls the Lion's Barrage, Sasuke wins. After that match, Kakashi takes Sasuke away so he can seal the curse mark. Naruto still doesn't know about the curse mark yet, asks Sakura what's up with Sasuke. She just lies to his face, saying she has no idea. Anyway, with that match done, the computer picks the next match. Shino versus Abumi, the guy from the Sound Village that got his arms broken by Sasuke. As the match starts, Orochimaru dips. I wonder where he's going. Meanwhile, Kakashi successfully seals the curse mark, but tells Sasuke the seal depends on his will to keep the curse mark away.
This curse-sealing jutsu is only as strong as you are. It derives its power from the strength of your will.
The sealing process is painful, and Sasuke passes out. But after he's done, Kakashi hears a sinister voice from the shadows. It's Orochimaru. Oh no. Episode 4 kicks off with Orochimaru, which is never a good thing to say. Kakashi asks Orochimaru what he wants from Sasuke, but the answer is obvious. He wants what both Sasuke and Kakashi have, the Sharingan. We then cut back to Shino versus Abumi, and the Sound Shinobi is going all out, even with 2 broken arms. Unfortunately though, Shino already blocked his jutsu with his bugs. He just knocks Abumi out. Poor guy. Back with Orochimaru, Kakashi is prepared to fight him to protect Sasuke. But Orochimaru doesn't want to fight. He knows Sasuke will eventually come looking for him, so he just leaves. And when he does, the look on Kakashi's face says it all. Kakashi has no shot against this guy.